tell me how you first got started racing. I mean, how did you start out?
Originally I started in go-karts after I was 6, and I've done that a couple of times. I really didn't like it too much, you know. I was only able to go to one place in the race.
Right.
So I got rid of it, and I just started hoping a lot, you know. My dad was doing it since he was young, and I finally, 3 years ago, finally let me get in the car, and been on from there.
And what car?
That's the sprint car that I have.
So, you went straight from a go-kart to a 305.
Sure did. It wasn't really a big difference. Unbelievably, I guess I've been around it so long, it just come natural to me.
Yeah.
And I took right a hold to it. Mom and Dad were freaking out. They were scared to death. They're like, son, are you nervous? I said, I'm ready. Let's go.
Dang, man. That's crazy. You know, I hear a lot of people, I mean, they take baby steps all the way up.
Yeah.
But it's like you went from...
It's like learning how to walk.
Yeah.
I took off running before I started walking.
I mean, sometimes I think that's better in ways, you know, but how'd you feel when you got in the car for the first time?
It was comfortable. It felt like I belonged there. It just...
Really?
Felt like I belonged there. I was waiting on that my entire life.
So you're in the car, and tell everybody what you drive.
I got an 02 J&J sprint car with a fuel injected 305. Louisiana Baseman. Makes about 500 horsepower. Dad was in line to win the championship, and he didn't feel comfortable doing that. For the first year out, he finally felt like it was time to put me in the car. Put me in it and have at it. Keep me on out to the track and said, take off.
Dang! So that was your first time in the car?
That was my first time ever in a sprint car. Never packed a track in one, nothing. He just kicked me out there at the championship race. He said, go get it.
So the sprint cars, they have no transmission.
They have no transmission. So they're direct drive right off the back of the crank, on the crankshaft. It's got an in and out box on the rear end. You're either in gear or you're out of gear. It's like drive and neutral. Quick change rear end. Take about 8 volts off. You can change the gear ratio.
Right. Mom and Dad, biggest supporters?
They are without a doubt the biggest supporters that I have.
Gotcha.
Help me in every which way possible. They're with me no matter what I do.
Well, you got a lot of fans. A lot of people talk about Blake. I hear it all the time. And, I mean, how old are you?
I just turned 19 in September.
19 years old.
I graduated in 2013 from high school. And I've been working around racing my entire life.
Excellent. Now, your dad. How long has he been racing?
My dad has been racing since he was 17. I think he is 44 now. So that's 30
We're talking about family and how important that the trend, I guess you would say. I mean, you get it in your blood when you're born because Blake, he's always around a racetrack, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Even before Blake was born.
Right.
It goes, I'm not sure if he brought you up to speed on that, but
no.
Even my partner Nick Carrier started racing sprint cars in 1970.
Gotcha.
So it has definitely been in the family for a long
You two ever raced together?
We absolutely have raced together.
You have?
We absolutely have.
In the sprint cars, right?
In the sprint cars, for sure.
We got a little close, but that was about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
you let him lap you?
Oh, I didn't let him lap me. He just got close.
So we're 1 for 1.
Right.
So Blake's the first time Blake and I raced against each other. I showed him the old man still got it, and the second time we were actually at Baton Rouge Raceway, and Blake literally tore the old man a new one.
Ooh.
So I have laid down the gauntlet here, just talking with guys at work. About the competitive nature between Blake and so I have a 1996 model built Weiser. Absolutely gonna drag that old baby out, and and put a power plant in that thing, and we got one more grudge race to go.
Well, you know, I got to be there for that. That's for doggone sure. Is that going to settle it?
Oh, that's going to settle it. I'm going to. No, absolutely. I'm going to spank his butt, and I'm going to retire me and the old yellow. Right off into the sun.
There you go.
He's going to get aggravated with me lapping him, and he's going to come back the next November.
The family deal. I mean, that's where it's at, you know. And talking with Butch Jenkins and his son Blake, Butch told me, he said, Herman, once you see your son on the track and you really start to see him progress,
right,
that your eagerness to get behind the wheel is going to fade off real quick.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, Butch, I've drove sprint cars since 1994. That is going to be very, very hard for me to do. But I tell you, watching Blake progress, it has absolutely got to be a joy to watch him on the infield. Race with the big man, you know.
Tell me about fear. Fearless. When you get in the car, what happens?
Put the helmet on and go to business, man. Office. All my worries, fears just go away.
It just disappears, or what? I mean,
something about the comfortability of being in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Just know that you're safe in that cage, and whatever happens, you're gonna be safe coming out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Blake's first year in a sprint car, it came down. The first year with the Louisiana Bayou Sprinters, it was a dead even heat going into the final race of the season for the points championship. And with me and Wendy running the series,
right,
I wanted nothing to do with winning the points for the Louisiana Bayou Sprinters.
Yeah.
Blake's first race was at Chatham, Louisiana. The kid has never drove any kind of dirt car, period. And I threw him in that yellow car I just talked about. In Chatham, Louisiana.
Yeah.
And he put his own restraints on, climbed in the car, and I said, son, is there anything that we need to talk about something? And he's like, Dad, I got this. I said, the roles have reversed.
And how old were you?
I was 17 then.
17.
Yeah.
First to 17.
Yeah. So he was pretty adamant about, Dad, the roles have reversed.
Yeah.
I got the car. You got the right now, Race Saver across the United States. We are very close to having 1,000 sprint cars run under the IMCA Race Saver banner. And like I say, so there's many benefits to that. So,
sure.
You know, if you're looking for a class to get into racing, you always need to look. If this is not my cup of tea, you know, what do I do? How do I sell this? Well, you got 1,000 other sprint cars that race under the exact same rule package that you race under. Yeah. So you got a big market to sell your stuff, and you can go anywhere in the United States and race with this series.
Wow!
And you're legal when you get there. There's no there's no question. You fit the rules when you go to California, Texas, Virginia. You fit the rules when you get there.
So the competition that I race with, they're competitive. They have a high nature competitiveness. All of them have talent. From Jason Johnson, we had his first cousin racing with us. Tommy Johnson, he's been racing since the early 90s.
Right.
In a sprint car. He's won multiple championships.
Right.
Mr. Bush David, I've known him since I was young. He's got multiple wins and championships.
Yeah.
Everywhere he's gone, he's won. Mr. John Ricketts, he's the IMCA National Points Champion from 2013 and in 50 year.
Wow.
2013.
Wow.
He had 15 wins last year alone.
Dang, man.
And
well, the really cool thing is that you got competition.
Exactly.
When there's always somebody better than you,
gives me something to step up to.
Give you something to go after. Yeah. So you know, I think you got a bull by the tail. I watch you race after race after race. Some last year, and yesterday I watched you race quite a bit, and you know, I'm impressed. I mean, there's nothing. I don't think there's nothing you can't do. So, you know, the big W hanging over your head that should be right there.
Oh yeah.
It's coming, man.
Waiting on it.
And when that time comes, I hope I'm there to get you.
Any day now.
And if I'm not, then somebody better show me.
That's right.
Show me some pictures, baby.
We don't have to wait for Mr. Dan to be there to win.
That's right. No, absolutely not.
That's a plus.
If I'm there, yeah, that's a plus for me personally. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. And you forgot to mention we're sitting here at Baton Rouge Raceway, our opening race of the season. And,
Definitely.
I think one of the bigger influences on Blake and myself, they've helped us a long time, is Lane Whittington,
right,
and his family and their that yellow number 9 car. He has taken Blake under the wing, as have Butch David, and a lot of these drivers have look. They've seen me race for years, and Blake was probably in their trailer when he was a kid, as much as he was in ours.
Right.
And they've taken him under his wing, and none of those guys will give him any bad advice. They will absolutely help him.
Oh yeah.
Which you know, which is the camaraderie among our guys is just.
It is incredible. I mean, at times I'll see it, you know, from an engine problem, a wing problem, something. I mean, everybody comes over.
Sure.
Everybody comes over to help. They kick in, they knock it out. You know, good, bad, and differ. You know, when you're on the track, it's one thing. When you're off the track,
you know what? It's the spirit is very high on the racetrack. Sprint car racing it's a competitive sport by nature.
Oh yeah.
And you know, we leave it on the racetrack.
Yeah.
And when we get where we're not on the racetrack, we are everybody. And if you go on our Louisiana Bayou Sprints Facebook page, they call it the LBS family.
Right.
And that is kind of the mantra of what we want to be known for.
Sure.
We are the sprint car series that you bring the family to,
right,
and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're going to race some of the toughest people
in the nation
around, and the nation.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you show up to one of the LBS races. So I love it. I mean, it just we love it. This is what we do.
Yeah.
This is absolutely what we do.
Good deal. Good deal.